Hey Brick Fanatics, today I'm feeling particularly generous because I'm going to bring you not one, not two, but 3 reviews in one. Now you can't say we don't treat our fans generously. We're heading into Jurassic World, although the Western genre would feel more appropriate, as we've got the good, the not so good, and the downright ugly. Ugh. We've got a lot to get through, so let's waste no time and start digging in. I'm going to start with my favourite of the 3, which is 76940 T-Rex Dinosaur Fossil Exhibition. It's a change of departure within the Jurassic World theme, offering fans the chance to get up close and personal with a dinosaur, albeit in fossilised form, rather than escaping from or trying to catch them. The fossil exhibit features a portable workstation, a ridiculously cute baby Triceratops, and an impressive T-Rex fossil. On first glance, it appears to be a very different yet very appealing set, but will we still say the same once we've picked the bones out of it? The first thing to tackle is the small work desk side build. It's made from just a handful of parts, but it's nicely detailed, featuring a dinosaur egg, T-Rex claw or bone of some sort, and a small plant leaf. Whether this is for studying or feeding to the baby Triceratops is up to your own imagination. The fossilised T-Rex diagram sticker rounds off what is a simple yet effective build. The main focus of the set is the large T-Rex fossil that makes up the exhibition, and it's built from a mix of brick-built elements and recoloured pre-existing moulds. The fossil itself is built onto a display plinth. It's again a simple assembly. Of course it's to be expected somewhat with a set that's recommended for 7+, but it doesn't mean it's not enjoyable for older fans too, like me. The fossil does come together in quite a pleasing way. Clips and bars are used to attach the front appendages, and 1x2 modified tiles with vertical teeth used to recreate the spinal bones continue down the tail. The ankle sections and feet look authentic to a real fossil display, the exposed joints looking a bit like the metal connectors you might find in a museum, and the movable claws offer a little bit in the way of display ability. The thigh bones lack that same level of accuracy, however, and they're just made from a single tan 2x4 tile. Compared to the rest of the curves, lines and angles of the skeleton, it just looks too unrealistic and sticks out against what is otherwise a simple yet excellently designed skeleton. The colour scheme of tan, dark tan and white looks incredibly authentic, perhaps more so than LEGO Idea's 21320 Dinosaur Fossils, which was all predominantly white. Now, I'm not saying that this is a superior model, but when it comes to the colour, perhaps this is just a little bit more accurate. Speaking of colour, the new T-Rex skull looks equally as good, replicating a real T-Rex skull extremely well. The use of the pre-existing mould for the skull keeps this model within universe, tying this set together with other sets within the Jurassic World theme. Probably more so had this element been brick built like the rest of the skeleton. 2 minifigures are included within the set. The ubiquitous Owen Grady, who appears in almost every single Jurassic World set and remains practically unchanged from his 2018 variant, and Darius, who comes with 2 new elements, a yellow hoodie, white t-shirt and dinosaur tooth necklace, and a double-sided face, though both of these also appear in 76942 Baronox Dinosaur Boat Escape. The printing on the minifigures is decent enough, but their alternative faces don't suit this set at all. Owen Grady's determined stoic expression feels more at home in an action-packed playset. Here, he just looks baffled by science. Likewise, Darius's screaming, frightened appearances just looks completely out of place. I mean, what on earth could be so frightening about a dinosaur exhibition? This thing's been dead for 65 million years. It certainly can't be the baby Triceratops that's given Darius the chills either, as it's quite simply adorable. It's a pre-existing mould, but has been recoloured from olive green to sand blue, which offers up a unique look for this set. 76940 is by its very nature fundamentally a display piece, and with that in mind, it does seem ever so slightly expensive. Once built, it probably isn't going to offer the longevity that some other sets will. Saying that though, it does look excellent once placed upon a shelf, and this year Jurassic World sets have gotten a lot more expensive for what they offer, so with that in mind, and this is actually quite reasonable. 76940 T-Rex Dinosaur Fossil Exhibition is an unusual entry in the Jurassic World theme. It's a much more sedate and considered set than the more common chasing down or escaping from dinosaur playsets that fans have been accustomed to. Its lack of play features might put a younger audience off, and older fans will not find the build as detailed or involved as the more mature LEGO Ideas Dinosaur Fossils set. However, the sheer uniqueness of this set really helps make it stand out amongst others within the theme. There's no denying it's an enjoyable and an inventive thing to put together, which looks excellent once complete, and the stylised displayability factor of this will surely appeal to fans of all ages. I'm not quite convinced, however, the same can be said for the next two offerings. Now, there is nothing particularly wrong with 76941 Carnotaurus Dinosaur Chase, it's just the Carnotaurus isn't exclusive, and there's a lot less in this set than there was 3 years ago in the first set to feature the Carnotaurus, 75929 Carnotaurus Gyrosphere Escape. This set is a little bit cheaper, but has a whopping 337 less parts. So is there enough here to make this a worthy catch, or are there better sets to hunt down? Looking at the box, and there doesn't appear to be that much to this set. Upon opening it, it still doesn't feel like there's much content inside either. Thankfully, the prehistoric beast, the Carnotaurus, is a really impressive dinosaur, if this is the first time you've seen it. Absolutely dwarfing the minifigures, it makes for a fun start to the set and gets you excited to see what exactly he'll be chasing down. The next element is less inspiring. Owen Grady's small helicopter, a pretty standard and simple build. There really isn't much to say about this. It looks a bit blocky to begin with, but once the tail and angled cockpit are added, it actually looks quite smart. There are only 2 rotor blades though, where perhaps 4 would have given the model a better overall look. The truck is bigger than expected though, which is definitely a positive. It's certainly much bigger than most common city or even Jurassic World vehicles. From a build perspective, it comes together fairly quickly without too much in the way of unusual or innovative techniques, but it does look decent and feels very sturdy to hold. It's not going to pose much of a challenge for older fans, but younger fans will no doubt feel satisfied at having constructed a fairly sizable and decent looking truck. But when compared to 75929 Carnotaurus Gyrosphere Escape, this set does feel lacking. A small building or piece of landscape would have helped make it feel more complete and offered something that would instantly fit in alongside other Jurassic World builds. There's still enough to have fun playing with, but just a little bit more to build would have been welcome. 3 minifigures are included within this set. Owen Grady is of course one of them, but the other 2 are actually exclusive. Kenji and Sammy have simple but decent printing on the torso, Sammy's floral vest being the highlight, but their alternative facial prints are excellent and feel very appropriate for this set. I just love how terrified they both look. For a while now, LEGO Star Wars fans have seemed to get the raw end of the deal when it comes to price versus content. It feels like it's LEGO Jurassic World fans that are starting to feel the pinch. A small helicopter, a decent truck, and the large Carnotaurus is all you get from this set, and when taking into consideration how quickly it all comes together, it does feel a little overpriced, especially as the dinosaur, usually the star of these sets, is not even exclusive. When compared to other Jurassic World sets that are currently on the market though, the price point seems reasonable, but perhaps this is one to wait for a reduction before parting with your hard-earned cash. From a construction perspective, this set does offer up a couple of nice, if not particularly challenging or innovative builds. Younger fans will no doubt get a lot of play value out of this set, but for older fans, or those who already own 75929, there probably isn't enough new elements to make this an essential purchase. Fun, but passable. Oh boy, I've really saved the worst till last. A prehistoric boat chase that will leave all but the most die-hard of Jurassic World fans with a massive sinking feeling. There are certain LEGO sets that feel like incredible value for money, not only offering fans a brilliant building experience, but also containing an abundance of content inside the box. Then there are those sets that feel like a massive letdown once you've parted with your money, ripped open the box, or carefully prized the seal and poured the contents onto the table. It's a horribly disappointing feeling that no toy should ever bring to a consumer. This unfortunately falls very much into the latter category. In fact, it's so devoid of actual stuff or elements that reviewing it in anything but a negative light is actually very challenging. Upon opening the box, I actually did a double take and needed to check something wasn't stuck inside. The utter lack of things inside is just staggering. 3 small numbered bags, of which the first is so devoid of pieces that in any other set it would have probably been placed inside a much larger bag, a medium-sized Baronox, a moulded dinghy, a large moulded hull, the only positive being that it actually floats, and 4 minifigures, with just 1 being exclusive. It's a really bad start to a set. The only thing that can save this is the quality of the build, but with such a small number of pieces, it's probably not worth holding your breath for it to be its saviour. In fact, let's play a quick game. How long do you think it took me to put together everything in bag 1? Is it A, 15 minutes, B, 10 minutes, or C, 7 minutes? Well, if you answered A, B, or C, you'd be wrong. In fact, it took me 2 minutes and 21 seconds, and that includes the time it took me to write down how long it took me to put the thing together. Absolutely shocking. The dinosaurs that were included within the Jurassic World theme are always the stars of the show. The Carnotaurus, for example, is imposing, terrifying, and great fun to play with. The Triceratops from 75937 Triceratops Rampage is another example of a fantastic looking dinosaur that elevates a set. Here, the Baronox looks as though it hasn't been fed in almost as many years as it went extinct. For dino geeks watching, that would be about 125 million years ago. From the side it looks great, making it no surprise that all the official photographs have been shot with the dinosaur in profile. However, front on or from the back, it just feels way too skinny and is less scary and just more comedic. To make matters worse, this isn't even a new dinosaur, as it's already appeared in the theme. It's just recoloured. So far, so bad. But surely the massive ocean-going vessel will offer up enough value to stop this set sinking without a trace. Short answer, no. No, it won't. Not unless attaching a few standard bricks to a massive piece of plastic floats your boat. In fairness, the small details that are added to the hull, fire extinguishers, floats, life jackets and various lights, do look good and help to create quite an authentic looking vessel, even if the actual techniques and skill needed to build these are incredibly basic. There are some nice moments. The bridge and cabin area is simple yet enjoyable to put together. The top and middle sections are both removable, allowing more storage space on board, although there isn't enough space for the dinghy underneath the bridge, and it feels like with so much space this could have easily been included. The nicest features are the various trans-coloured pieces representing the numerous lights on board. They add nice detail as well as giving the model splashes of vibrancy across the dark blue hull. With the exception of the boat being able to float, the other significant play feature are the bars that contain the Baronox once it's been captured. Admittedly, once everything's put together, it does look fairly impressive, and at least it's on a large scale. But the end doesn't always justify the means, and this set proves that point perfectly. A decent looking model that will no doubt entertain younger fans, who are, after all, this model's primary audience, but a build that leaves a lot to be desired, with a price tag that feels hugely inflated. One exclusive minifigure in a set that costs $74.99 or $79.99 if you're in the US or Europe is really poor form. So much so, I'm not even sure if I can be bothered to talk about them. But in case you're interested, there's Owen Grady, obviously, an ACU trooper, the same Darius minifig that was featured in the T-Rex Dinosaur Fossil Exhibition, and Yaz, the exclusive figure who at least has dual moulded legs. Oh, and there's a baby raptor. Yay. If you haven't guessed yet from the scathing review you've just watched, this set is hugely overpriced. I mean, if you're into spending vast quantities of money on single pieces of big plastic, then this set's for you. For everybody else, don't waste your money unless this is massively discounted. Look, to be fair, as a playset, there is enough within 76942 Baronox Dinosaur Boat Escape to offer some enjoyment to younger fans. The boat is large, sturdy, and the fact it floats makes it great fun to play in or out of the water. Message from our lawyers, obviously with the correct parental supervision. and the Baronox is a large enough dinosaur to have an element of menace to it. The boat does feel authentic, even though it's just one piece of plastic with a few small details added. However, the price is just way off what feels reasonable and justifiable. The build is severely lacking and feels more like an advanced 4+ set rather than the recommended 8+ the set commands. The Baronox, as large as it is in height, looks so scrawny it's almost laughable. None of the minifigures feel desirable in any way, and the giant pre-moulded hull piece feels like a throwback to LEGO's dark period of the 1990s. The Jurassic World franchise famously brings prehistoric creatures back to life, but this is one set that's better off going extinct as fast as possible. And there you have it! 3 sets reviewed in about the same time it will take you to put together this thing. Please support the work Brick Fanatics does, like bringing you this review, by purchasing your copies using our affiliate links down below. Please do the usual YouTube, subscribe, like, share, etc. And remember, for all your LEGO news, reviews and more, head over to brickfanatics.com now. Even better, sign up for our newsletter and never ever miss anything LEGO related ever again. I'll see you next time.